It probably sounds awful because I'm listening to my music through the speakers. But I love that song. Keith wrote me that song like a million years ago. It probably sounds awful because I'm listening to my music through. Wait, where am I hearing it from? But I love that awful. Song. Keith wrote me that song. Hold on. There must be a YouTube open somewhere. Where am I hearing it from? I'm like, I hear myself really, really quietly. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Awkward feedback. Woohoo! Well, hello everyone. Technical goofs aside, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and I'm pleased to finally share that pre-orders for the 2022 spring mini skein mini series are now available in my Etsy shop. This is a fun event that I love to do every year. I've moved it up a little bit, which I'll talk about more later in the stream. But this is an event where I will have a week of special videos in the evenings that accompany some fade sets of yarn, some mini skein sets. Each set is dyed in one of the videos. The sets will be labeled with the date, wrapped up so they can remain a mystery and have fun extras. And the whole thing is just so much fun. I love putting together these sets like this. I mean, it really does feel like putting together a care package to make opening up fun and just feel like love and yarn and other kinds of fiber fun extras. Thanks, Beth. Oh, Judy says, well, now you know exactly how much delay I have. Yeah, it actually wasn't my phone. Yeah, I think I'm one of those people that on my computer I have a million tabs open at every time. And so I had the stream open so that way I could like share the link and stuff like that. And then, oh, well. But all right, before I go into like the theme, there is a theme this year that I will share in advance. I'm not going to make you guess as it's coming out because that way people know a little bit about what to expect. But within the theme, there's a lot of variety, like a lot of variety. And so I'm going to talk about all of that. And I even have some of all the like bare yarn bases that like I can talk about and answer questions about the different bases if anyone has any questions during the stream. But I'm trying to decide where to start. Okay, well, let's start with like what is available, what I'm offering, what is the spring mini skein mini series. So as I mentioned, the spring mini skein mini series will be a week of videos starting Monday, May 23rd, 2021. And so just like with Hanukkah, every night at 8:30 p.m. there'll be a new video and I'll dye a mini skein set of yarn in that video. And I'm going to hide that because it's in my way. And yeah, so those videos will be available to everyone, but you can pre-order some yarn that'll be featured in one of those videos to unbox along the way. And so let me show you. Here we go. Okay, so there are 3 different listings. There is the mini skein set and then 2 add-ons. And right now, if you want one of the add-ons, you do need to purchase the set. But if there are some available later on, then those later on, they could become available on their own. But the add-ons typically do sell out before the sets. This year, the mini skein sets are a little bit different. Instead of being 100 grams of yarn like most of my sets, the sets this year are going to have 6 20-gram mini skeins. So 120 grams of yarn total. And you'll understand why shortly. There are 7 different yarn bases available, a variety of fingering weight and DK weight bases. Some of these may mean that colors from a night might be a little bit different depending on how the yarn absorbs color. And so in the videos, I will be dyeing a lot of different bases side by side for that comparison because I know I enjoy doing side-by-side comparisons, and well, I like doing those videos. All right, and then the 6 mini skeins are all intended to be worked together in one project. Obviously, you don't need to, but unlike Hanukkah, where you can absolutely use everything in one project, but it's not designed as a color set to work together, the spring or summer mini skein mini series that I do are designed to work together. There are a lot of fun extras in these kits, and that's something that I will talk about later in the stream. And I also do have spoilers at the bottom of the listings that talk a little bit about the extras if you want to know exactly what's in there. But I will have like a spoiler image to put up when I talk about the types of extras that are in there in case someone wants it to be a complete surprise. And then yeah, the videos will all be up on YouTube in May. And so there, as I said, there are 7 different yarn bases, and they range from a fingering sock that is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. There's also a DK weight with that blend. There's 100% superwash merino DK weight yarn. There is a sparkle blend, a sock blend with stellina. There is a merino yak sock blend, a superwash merino cashmere nylon blend, and there's also a superwash merino silk blend that is 2-ply, unbelievably soft, and I am just like really, really excited about that one and to dye more. Now, I'll pop big for a minute. If the yarn base that you want does sell out, I have it set up so that way like things that are completely wrapped are listed first, but I do have more of a lot of the yarn bases, and I'm going to be dyeing more for the series, and so I will be like listing more. It's just to help me keep track of the inventory. So some you might see later on that the one available has like a little asterisk. All that means is it's part of the second batch. So that way, like I can easily keep track of it. But I never list any pre-orders on my site for yarn that I do not have physically on hand. However, I am placing a yarn order tonight. And so if there is a base that there is more demand for, I can grab more, but I wouldn't list more of it until I physically have possession of it. DK weight is a number 3. I'm not good with the numbers of what yarn is. Oh, why is it only on? Aha. Now I can see all of the chat. Okay, so that's the main set. Now the 2 different add-ons that we have this year is there is a full skein add-on, and there are 3 different base options for this one. There is a superwash fingering weight sock that's a merino nylon blend. There is a 100% merino superwash DK weight yarn, and then there is a fingering weight non-superwash yarn. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And so those 3 bases, it's a single colorway that I'm doing on those 3 bases. I decided to help make things more clear going forward that when I have add-ons that are different colorways, I'm going to have them be a separate listing. So that way, when there's one colorway with multiple base options, it's more clear that it's just a single colorway. Because I think for Valentine's Day, there was a little bit of confusion. But the other add-on that we have this year is a sock blank. It's a double-stranded sock blank and is dyed according to the theme, which I'll share shortly. All of the add-ons also come wrapped. The video will be, I think, the 6th night for all of the add-ons this year. It's all going to be in one video, even though the colorways between the skeins and the blanks are different. And they each come with like a progress keeper that I will make probably next week, actually. So yeah. Oh, and there is an option for me to unravel the sock blank for you in advance. So that is an option. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions along the way, and I'll do my best to answer, and I'll show the yarn bases and all of that jazz. But yeah, if one of the bases during the stream sells out, just let me know and I can add the second batch on. I didn't want to have it on at first because I was afraid that that would be too confusing. And I didn't want to make things too confusing. Yeah, and I know one thing I usually don't end up listing enough of are like the full add-on skeins. And so that is something else that like I always hold some back for until I ship the first round of pre-orders. So after I start shipping, then I usually release a few more sets. And I try to do that just in case like something goes wrong, because again, I don't want to over pre-sell yarn that I don't physically have. So I try to keep track of that. Now, as for the theme and why we're having sets of 6 mini skeins this year, I suppose I should say, well, I guess even my spoiler warning has like a little bit of a spoiler about the theme, but I wanted to share the theme in advance this year, just so that way people have some idea of the general realm of colorway they might expect. And well, because this is something I wanted to dive into. Gretchen, there should still be some DK available on Monday, I would imagine, because I definitely have more of the base. So I'm limited by, one of the limiting factors, I guess, for this is the extras that I have. But in theory, there might be some yarn sets that are released when the videos come out if I dive extras, because I really like these colors. But anyway, the theme, although that's going to make the camera shake. The theme this year is painting rainbows. I mean, I'm kind of wearing a rainbow-y shirt. The theme is painting rainbows. Every night we'll be playing with a different type of rainbow colorway, and we will be exploring depths of shade, variegated speckles, color mixing and blending and layering and all kinds of things to create different types of rainbow themed sets. And so they range from being more loud to more subtle. There's a huge variety in there, and I am really, really, really excited. And so now you may understand why I wanted to do 6 mini skeins, because in last year's summer mini skein mini series, there was one day I dyed a rainbow set, and I was lamenting that I had 5 skeins, but I wanted to do 6 colors. And yeah, this gave me more flexibility in there. And what's funny is I considered doing a mixture of 6 skein and 5 skein sets because of the things I was sketching out, and then decided, no, we'll just do 6 across the board. And so this is why all of the sets have 120 mini skein. No, each of the sets have 120 grams, not mini skeins. And so I am just like incredibly, incredibly excited. Wait, what was it? There was one thing that popped into my brain and I just lost it. Oh, in the listing, I do have both the yardage per 100 grams of each base and the yardage per 120 grams, because I thought that when looking at the base, if you wanted to know if you have enough yardage for a project, a lot of us think about yarn like weights in terms of 100 grams. And so I did the yardage both ways to make that easier to process. And now I can show you my cute little spoiler warning graphic I made. I'll pop this up later on when I am talking about the extras that I'm putting in, so that way people can mute me during that portion if you want. And for the replay. But yeah, I'm so excited, and it has just been so much fun dyeing these up, and so hard to not share like pictures. And yeah, there's a variety of different types of rainbows, like in terms of saturation, in terms of the brightness of the hues. there's just a lot of different of different types. And so it's been really fun. And I think the videos are all like pretty different. Some of them have some elements that are very, very similar, but yeah, there's like different focuses. And I think that from a video standpoint, I think there's a lot of information that we learn that is really helpful and that I will draw on in my own dyeing journeys moving forward. And I will say that even the Dye Pot Weeklies that week will be on theme. They will involve something rainbowy-ish as well. And so it's all, yeah, I've already filmed the bulk of all of the videos. And I am really, really proud, at least of how I think they went, because I haven't edited anything yet. I'm very, very far from the editing stage. Now, I moved the series up into May because I've realized that having a big series in the middle of the summer, whether it has been July or June, makes things challenging if there is any like travel or vacations involved with the kids. Or last year it ended up being right about the end of the school year. And so it ended up being a lot more stressful with other personal things going on. And I know that over the course of May, when it comes to editing, the timing, like there'll still be stress for like finishing up a series, but I've realized that it is overall a less stressful time for me to be working and putting something like this out. And so hopefully that will go well and not feel as, not feel as not that it's overwhelming or anything. I'm hoping that it'll go a little bit smoother around here for me to be doing that while they're still in school versus when they're having the last week of school and things like that. And the other reason why I decided to move it earlier is and there's no promises on this, but I might do a mini special event at the very end of the summer or early fall. And the theme for that, I think, is a little bit less broad in the appeal. And so I will eventually share the theme for that if that is going forward. But because it is a little bit, I'm sure people will be really excited for like the videos and stuff, but it's a little bit more niche, some of the theme that I want to do for it. And so therefore, the yarn will be pretty no matter what, but I figured that I'd make that a smaller thing and a little bit separate because, yeah. A lot of times, like inspiration, so like the inspiration for this came from one series last year and then went into some extras I had and I realized like, oh, these would work perfect for doing a whole theme of this. And so I saved that for this year. And so I am beyond excited to do this. But let me talk, just checking emails. Great. And I'm checking to see if I need to shift. Uh-oh, where did it go? The silk. Okay, the Merino Yak, I'm going to add more right now. I will release the reserves because the Merino Yak has sold out. And so the only difference between the first batch and the second is that the second just has a little asterisk. So that should be up now, but I'm going to double check to make sure that that went up okay. Yep. Okay. So there's more Merino Yak sock. I wanted to check on that. Well, I'll say the theme for like the late summer, early fall thing is a little bit nerdier. Very me still, but yeah. And so therefore, some people might be like, okay, this is a little bit like, maybe I don't care about that as much, even if I love ChemKnits. But I'm very, very excited. yeah, so there's more yak. And then again, if that one sells out, then when I place my yarn order, I'll order more yak and then like bias the second batches towards that. I decided to wait that way because I think last year some of the bases that sold out faster surprised me, and I had the ability to dye some more, and so I did, but this year I like prepared for that. The one thing that is odd is that counting 6, like mini skeins, when I'm not making them myself, come in packs of 25. And so it's made like counting things a little bit more chaotic, but not in a bad way. In a way that I'm just double checking that I like definitely have enough yarn for everything. And again, I still have like extra because I'm always like, I want there to be no issues. But as I said, I'm placing a yarn order tonight because I love a lot of these bases. All right. Do you guys want me to talk about some of the extras? Or I could talk about extras now, or I could talk and show the bare yarn bases and talk more about those. But of course you can read. What is yak? Great. The Merino Yak Blend is, this is the Merino Yak Blend. It is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. And so it's a very fun base because it starts off, the bare yarn color is more of this cool toned brown, warm toned gray. And so it's a lot of fun to dye side by side with everything else because things just look different on it. But sometimes things may not look so different on it. And so it's fun to just see that. And what was I going to say? The yak is like a standout of these for sure. And it's also really, really soft. The reason why it's dark is because yak fiber is deeper. And so when you blend that dark yak fiber in, you end up with this kind of color. And so that is really, really fun. Bases first, then spoilers. Okay. All right. So I just talked about the That Yak base. It is a fingering weight base that has, it's not going to tell me the yardage. The yardage is in the listing. And actually, but I will pull up what I called each of the bases. So that way I'm doing that correctly. The yak, it feels very, very soft. Let me see. This one is superwash merino right now. It's like a hair. It doesn't quite feel like alpaca, but there's something that's like reminiscent of something like that, if that helps. But it is still mostly superwash merino. Okay, so this is the Merino Yak sock is what I've called the base. Now for DK, I have 2 different bases. We have the Superwash DK, which is 100% superwash merino. It is 8 ply, so there are 4 2-plies in here, making it extremely bouncy and round, and it's a glorious base. Another base that you're probably very familiar with me dyeing is the Superwash Blend DK that is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a 4-ply yarn. The yardage is, the yardage is similar. They're slightly, I'm like trying to read, there's slightly more yardage in the Superwash DK, at least from what I wrote down. But let me see. I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see the plies. The camera's not focusing great. This is the Superwash DK. Sorry, no, this is the Superwash Blend DK. This is the Superwash DK. I'm not sure. I don't think it's focusing well enough. And so they're both very, very soft. But the Superwash Blend DK is the same base that I use in my Hanukkah samplers as the DK base. I'm going to make sure I'm putting these back in the correct bags. But I'm going to keep a yak up just for comparison. And oh my gosh, the lists that I do when I'm dyeing these is so funny, so that way I don't mix anything up. All right, let's do Sparkle Sock next. There are two versions of the sparkle sock that have technically the same fiber content. They are 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And some of them have a gold stellina and some of them have a silver stellina, at least to start with. So each sparkle set will either have all silver or all gold, but in some of the cases, the stellina does take up like a little bit of tint. And so there is a case where one that was definitely silver to start with, but on one of the minis there, the stellina looks a little bit more gold because of the color that I was using. But yeah, I was playing around with both, and both of them are very, very soft. But I don't think I did any comparisons this time of the silver versus the gold side by side to see how they compare. I used either or in the videos. Okay, who do we have here? Oh, well, let's do you first. Yes. All right, for the fingering sock base, it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And there are technically two different bases in here. One of them is 2-ply and one is 4-ply, but they have the exact same yardage. And each set would be one or the other, not both. I did not list them separately, but there are, I guess, some of each, and both are bases that I adore. This is the 2-ply one that I have right here. And then the last two bases, the silk blend, which is like so unbelievably soft. I don't think I've ever dyed a superwash merino silk blend before until this, but I love it. So this is the merino silk sock. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% silk. It has a lovely little sheen to it, and the best description is it feels silky. It has a glorious drape. I mean, look at that drape. I mean, I suppose like, you know, the yak has some drape too, but the silk blend is just a beautiful, beautiful drape. And then finally is the MCN sock, which is a superwash merino cashmere nylon blend. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It is very soft. It is very like plump. It's also 2-ply. So in bare form, the silk one and the 2-ply like merino nylon one all look fairly similar, but they do feel different, and they do dye up a hair differently, but that you'll see in the videos. Although I don't know how much I use. I don't know if I've used all three of them side by side in a video. I may have. I would keep a list of like, okay, in this bundle I have 4 yak and 2 silk, and then in this bundle I have 5 of the merino nylon blend, so that way I can like just keep everything straight. But yeah, those are the different bases. So there's 7 different bases, and believe it or not, I have 2 more yarn bases that I ended up not using for the series. I think I eventually was like, okay, I guess 7 is probably enough. But yeah, I technically have a bag of 2 other like mini skeins that I have not played with yet. So it's all very, very fun. Let me see. Checking in. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to add more of the merino silk sock right now. That one, like I technically dyed more than 2, but I only listed 2 at first. But I did not, there's a reason why I held 2 back. And there. So yeah, the most limited sets are the silk sock and well, now the yak is fairly limited, but the silk sock and the sparkle were two of the more limited. But okay, so I have those now. Cool, cool, cool. All right, and I think that we are doing okay with the add-ons as well. Thank you all so much for supporting the series. Like, I just absolutely, absolutely adore it. But now, okay, I'm going to put up a spoiler warning because I am going to talk about the extras that are included with the yarn sets. I already mentioned that with the add-ons, they all come wrapped and each of them come with a progress keeper that is different from things that are in the set, itself. If you order, oh wait, I should say this before the spoilers. If you order multiple sets, my default is to give you sets from different nights to give some variety. And so, yeah, to try to give you like as many things from different nights as I can. But the extras will be duplicates with the sets. But sometimes if you order multiple add-ons, I do try to there's occasionally some variety in there and I try to mix it up a little bit. All right, but now, spoiler warning, because I'm going to talk extras about that are in with the 120 gram mini skein sets. So if you want to be completely surprised by what types of extras are in these sets, mute me now, and then, when this image goes away, that you can listen to me talk about all the extras again. I do also have a spoiler of the extras at the bottom of the listing because I thought people may want to know what is in there. All right, so as I've mentioned, the 6... Jessica said, whatever I buy from you, I make things for myself. Smiley face. Yay! So the 6 mini skeins will be wrapped in some packaging that is reusable. I'll just say that there's something reusable about the packaging, so it could be used for other purposes. There are going to be 2 homemade progress keepers in the set. There will be a sticker, is it vinyl? Yeah, like a die cut sticker, and for the first time, there is an enamel pin. And I'm very, very excited about it. And it's been very, very hard to not share it. But I, got a run of enamel pins for the first time that is both related to me and to the theme of the series. And so those will be in the sampler sets, the 120 gram sets. Those will be included in there. And I'm just really, really excited. There may be some extra that I will list once the series start. I think that I have a little bit more than I have sets, but I really wanted to make sure that those arrived and I had them in my possession and I looked at them before listing everything, because if something went wrong and they got delayed too much, I didn't want to risk them not being here in time. And so this is something I've been wanting to do since I got my logo designed. I've been wanting to do this for years and I finally did it. Finally did it. And I have other ideas, and the problem is I'm not a very good artist. So I have other ideas that I need to hire a graphic artist to help me flesh out maybe in the future. But this was very, very exciting. And the company I worked with was really, really great. They even sent me pictures along the way. And the whole process was very, very nice. And so I am very, very excited about the pins, and I hope that you guys will be excited about it too. But I'll definitely, and I could take off spoiler warning now. But everything that I mentioned, I will share in the vlog that will come out at the end of this series. So that way, if you don't get a sampler, you can then like see everything and enjoy my unboxing excitement as I look at things or as I make things and share it. And so I'm very, 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 very excited. And I'm also very excited to have like a little spoiler warning thing that I can use in the future. Because I'll just save that image and use it. I'm very, I don't know, I really just enjoy being silly. And I'm looking, I have so many windows open on my computer. It is a little bit wild. A little wild, but yeah, I am excited. And yeah, as I said, if the yarn base you wanted sells out, send me a message, because maybe I need to toggle on the like reserve for that base for the second batch that I am, well, some of it's soaking, that I'm dyeing up, but also then I am placing another yarn order tonight. And so, you know, if a lot of people wish that they got their hands on the yak, then I'll order more. And then in, you know, a week or so when it arrives, then I can do that. But I don't know. I'm really excited. I really, really enjoy putting these events together. I think not only is it like, does it end up feeling a little bit like a care package, wrapping them up, it just makes me happy. But I also just enjoy having a week of nightly videos and getting that extra time to engage. I usually do the videos as a premiere, and so the first air of the video will be sort of like a live TV event with a chat room. And then whenever I can, I hang out in the chat room to just react to everything along with all of you. And I really, really, really enjoy that. And so that's another reason why I moved it up, because last year I had the series go over my anniversary. And so there were times when I could not be there. You're totally down for 2 vlog nights if it means keeping more of the behind the scene footage. Well, like the stuff I appreciate that. The stuff I tend to cut from the vlogs will be like if I'm too repetitive, because since I'm filming clips weeks apart, sometimes I'll talk about something that I already talked about. And so I try to not keep in all of the boring things. And yes, as Robin said, please like the video and make sure you're subscribed to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. Yeah, I post often, and the special series are, yeah, so much fun. And yeah, I will, So yeah, the series I mentioned in the fall is depending on how I'm doing. I'm like working on getting my whole schedule and setup back to say where it was in 2019 and having things like ready to go more in advance, which gives me more flexibility to do more random streams and things like that. So that's something I'm hoping to finally like feel like I am ahead of the game again versus playing catch up. And so, yeah, there might be something like a mini series kind of thing in the very end of the summer. But yeah, it may not happen. It depends on how things go. But Hanukkah will definitely happen. And I forget when Hanukkah is this year. I think it's late. Hanukkah starts December 18th and goes through the 26th. Okay, so Hanukkah's late this year. But that, when I always ship that around, well, maybe I won't ship around Halloween. Maybe I'll ship a little bit later since Hanukkah's later again. Probably ship early November. And then I count back like whatever the max shipping deadline is for Etsy is when I like release pre-orders. But we're long away from that. I have some ideas, but I don't have like a firm theme like I did last year. I'm so glad it feels like a care package, because I just want like, you know, I just want it to feel like you know, I'm sending, like, what I would do to like wrap something to send to a friend or something, which, to be fair, maybe I wouldn't necessarily, I love my friends dearly, but I maybe don't always put this much thought into having like a theme. But yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you look forward to my videos every week. I really love playing with color, and I love challenging myself to look at things in multiple different ways. And so, yeah, I mean, part of me has like a little idea of something I could do for Hanukkah that sort of stemmed from this, but we'll see. I'm really proud of like how I approached each video. There's like a different thing, like in theme, even though like there's an overarching theme of the painting rainbows, like that has to do with the final colors, but the techniques vary and the questions that I'm asking in the video varies. And so that's just really like really exciting. And oh man, the one regret I had is that I was doing this in the winter. And so for like setting up like huge vats of stuff and putting it outside where it could like, for like a cool vat kind of thing, that doesn't work quite as well when it's at room temperature, and room temperature in my kitchen is cold. The yak yarn is so much fun. I love how it takes up color. And it's been fun to just play with it in so many different ways. What was something else that was... Oh, speaking of vlogs, I do have, at the beginning of April, I will have a knitting vlog. And so just not yarn I dyed, but I'm trying to do more of that just because like it's encouraging me to give myself some time to like, I don't know, it brings me back to like the ChemKnits roots where I would blog every single project I ever did and write about it. And so it's fun to just share with someone who I think might appreciate my thoughts along the process of a project. Because I love like my husband and my kids, and they get excited about the things that I'm making. It's just not quite the same as someone else who does like fiber arts and crafts and things like that. So, speaking of, do you guys want to see what I'm working on now? It is a mystery knit along, so technically it's a spoiler. Oh, I could put up, it's a spoiler warning, but not related to my stuff. It is a video that will happen at some point. But I can share where I am on that if I get, oh no, I'm like tangled. This is the Princess Bride mystery knit along that I've been doing. Isn't it cool? It's so pretty. And I dyed all the yarn for it. So this will be a dyeing to knit video. But it's just loud and fun. And I'm just loving it. Absolutely loving it. And so I love color work anyway. But all of the color work in here is like a slip stitch base. Although I need to like edit that because that doesn't... but it's all slip stitched based and written like in a very easy to follow way. There's charts and written instructions except for like one section where it was like, okay, charts would be too hard to explain. But the thing that's delightful is if you're a fan of the Princess Bride, there's just the instructions and transitions from different parts of the pattern are dripping in references and witty humor. And I absolutely love it. I think I maybe tagged it on like Instagram at one point, but it is like just so much fun. And yeah, I'm just enjoying like a different take on a project. And so yeah, that's a lot of fun. So that's what I've been working on, but I'm behind. So Clue 4 came out on Tuesday and I'm like 10% done with it. And so hopefully over the weekend I will do more. I'll do more, but yeah. So the thing I'm going to have to decide though, for the, when it's Hanukkah, I tend to wear my Hanukkah jammies when I do the intros and conclusions, because I suppose I should make myself a Hanukkah shirt. That might make sense. But I'm like, ooh, I want to dress to the theme. And so like this shirt is rainbow themed. I'm sure I should tie-dye myself something for it. That would work too. And I have like a little rainbow headband I made. But I do have rainbow pajamas. So I might have to wear those for one of the videos, just as like a throwback to Hanukkah, where I wear my pajamas for the videos. But yeah, I have rainbow pajamas. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. When I do these series, I typically I wait and leave the introduction and conclusion until I'm in the editing process, because that gives me time to make points that maybe I forgot over the course of the video. And also sometimes the direction of the video changes a little bit from where I think I'm going to end up. So like when I plan it, sometimes I swerve a little bit. And so then I might let that be known in the introduction. And so, yeah, then I actually like bring all the filming stuff upstairs and film in it's not really my office. It's my studio. ChemKnits is taking over the whole house though. It's more the movie, I would say. More of the references are definitely referring, I think, to things from the movie versus the book, which I adore the book. Even though I don't think I've read the book I've read it again as an adult. But I don't think I've read it for the book again for maybe a decade. I was just thinking I need to find my copy, because I think my eldest son, who is 8, I think he would really enjoy the book. We let them see the movie first and they liked it. And I realized like, I think that he would enjoy the humor of the book. But yeah, the references are definitely more, movie kind of related, because some of the plot points, but I think more people know the movie better than the book. So that's probably why. But I think Lyrical Knits, I think, is the designer. And so, but yeah, that's what's on my needles and what I will be working on later today. But oh my goodness, I always get nervous before doing the launches, trying to make sure. Oh goodness, I didn't even check yet. Okay, cool. The shipping is good. I know all of them are saying right now that I'll ship by May 27th, but they're going to ship at the end of the April. There was one time I had the shipping off or the shipping like timeline off, and Etsy now really, really, really wants us to be very clear about the shipping window. Maybe a white logo for a shirt using the Cricut, and then tie-dye the shirt and the white logo will pop. Oh yeah. Or even black could work pretty well too. I made one of she's kind of like my niece, but family friend, but she really likes cheetahs. And to the point where, apparently leopards have rosettes. Cheetahs don't. Cheetahs have spots. And so she really wanted a cheetah shirt, but anything that's called cheetah print is really leopard print. And so this was a very big deal for this 5-year-old. And so, yeah, I made just on a white shirt, I found a cheetah. And so I made her a cheetah shirt that she can tie-dye. And I used black with that, but white, I should have a ton of white vinyl. Yeah, I should just, or even I could. It's funny because I'm like, okay, I should make a shirt. But when I make myself Cricut shirts, the logo's usually like down here. And a lot of the times when I'm filming myself, it's from like the shoulders up. So I need to like do something cool. But that's why I like this sweatshirt. But yeah. I was wearing just like yarn dyeing clothes beforehand, and I was like, oh, I should put on something a little bit nicer for this announcement. And so then I ran and found it. But yeah, there's not, well, I make like the labels and everything for all the series myself. All the yarn sets will be labeled with the date the video comes out, similar to the past. But I didn't make a project bag this year. Oh, I suppose I didn't put a spoiler, but I guess I usually share that. And yeah, mainly because one of the other extras took up some of the the extras budget for the samplers. So yeah, I'm so happy. And I literally want to keep pretty much all of the colors, which is a problem because I shouldn't keep all of them. Yeah, and so there's a lot that I just really, really, really love, and I am struggling to pick a favorite. But so therefore, the one I'll probably pick will be some of the ones that would be harder for me to replicate, but some of them are very, like, batchable. And so I planned it specifically with that in mind. Yeah, which is the nice thing about the summer series versus Hanukkah, because when I'm doing Hanukkah and I'm doing 8 different colorways, sometimes I could replicate the colorway that I dyed, but other times it ends up being a little bit more unique, and so it would be harder for me to replicate it. And I do the dyeing for each of them like at a time, and so it would be a lot harder to dye up a whole other set if I didn't plan from the beginning. But with this, because each set is like a set of 6, it's easier to do like another batch. So yeah, but goodness, I have to see what tie-dye colors I have, because I've been wanting to tie-dye, but I think there's also going to potentially be a little bit of Camp Auntie Rebecca this summer, but I don't know how much of that would be filmed or anything, but certainly I would share pictures of all the tie-dye. I have a feeling there's going to be some big tie-dye sessions this summer. All the kids want to get in on the tie-dye fun. But anyway, I am going to head out. I'm going to go do some knitting. And so thank you so much for supporting the channel and the series. And just know that even like if you dye your own yarn, so you don't want to get a set or you can't for whatever reason, watching and engaging with these videos is the biggest way that you can help support the content here. It truly means the world to me, and I am so thankful that all of you are encouraging me to explore color and to allow me to make my artistic curiosity my job. And I feel very, very fortunate that I can call something I am so passionate about my job. So thank you all so much for making it so fun for me. And yeah, I guess the link is pinned in the chat. The links should be in the video description, and feel free to leave any questions down in the comments below. I do read comments and try to reply to questions. Oftentimes I don't see, if you reply to me, I may not see that very always. But if you have a new question, then just leave a new comment, because I get an easy notification of things I have not replied to. But so therefore it's harder for me to see follow-up questions. But anyway, oh, and I guess Monday will be March? Yeah, Monday will be the March ChemKnits Dye-Along. And so, yeah, I'll see you live on Monday. And it'll be a daytime stream, because I think that those tend to work better for me. So we'll try that for the dye-along. But yeah, that'll be Monday. So lots of fun stuff going on in ChemKnits land. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye.